The Bitcoin price has been volatile to start the week as it continues bashing on the final ceiling of resistance at $68,000. Is this the week that we finally break out to new all-time highs and beyond? Plus, Tesla moved $760 million worth of Bitcoin yesterday. Are they selling, or perhaps preparing to buy more? One thing is for sure, this Bitcoin phenomenon is spreading, which is exactly what Italy's finance minister said as they announced an increase of capital gains taxes on Bitcoin. Which makes me want to visit other ways Bitcoin is spreading and is breaking down walls of misinformation and carving a path to global acceptance and even embrace. Plus, Trump's new World Liberty Financial Token launches and flops like a dead fish. He probably should just stick with Bitcoin, right? Welcome to Pure Bitcoin Signal. I'm Hurley, Director of Content with Swan. Now let's talk Bitcoin. As I mentioned in the intro, the Bitcoin price has been bouncing around like crazy to start the week. Volatility is increasing as it starts bashing on the upper resistance of $68,000 per coin. Once the price closes above that level on the daily, the fireworks will likely follow as it heads back towards all-time highs and into price discovery mode. This crazy volatility has led many to speculate on what could be holding the price back. And just yesterday, Elon Musk and Tesla added to that speculation by moving $760 million worth of their Bitcoin holdings to new wallets. This has prompted many to speculate, is Tesla preparing to sell? Or are they changing custody in preparation to buy more? Or maybe, as Max Keiser alludes in a post on X, quote, he's depositing it at Howard's new Bitcoin bank and he'll use it as collateral to borrow. Max is, I think, referring to Howard Lutnick's bank, Cantor Fitzgerald, which announced a $2 billion Bitcoin financing initiative and a plan to offer leverage to investors who hold Bitcoin. So is Tesla selling, buying, or just changing custodians? Your guess is as good as mine, but rest assured, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what Tesla does. Because as Italy's finance minister said today, this Bitcoin phenomenon is spreading.
Un tema importante riguarda le plusvalenze da Bitcoin, dove, visto che questo fenomeno va diffondendosi, prevediamo un aumento della ritenuta dal 26 al 42%.
The Italian finance minister made these comments as they announced an increase to the capital gains tax on Bitcoin from 26% to a whopping 42%. This is in effect a soft ban on Bitcoin and a terrible move on Italy's part. Instead of outright banning it, they think they can get away with taxing it out of existence. But of course, they can't, as what they don't seem to understand is that this just forces Italian Bitcoin owners to either hold longer or perhaps even move to different jurisdictions with lower or no tax burdens on Bitcoin. Since Bitcoin is portable and a bearer instrument, meaning you can hold it yourself and don't need a brokerage like with stocks, people can simply up and leave with their Bitcoin in their head. I predict this new tax increase will be rescinded pretty quickly in the coming years. At least they're right about the Bitcoin phenomenon spreading. Today marks the 1-year anniversary of that Cointelegraph fake news tweet about the SEC approving the Bitcoin spot ETF. Of course, 3 months later, the ETF was approved, and today it is the fastest growing ETF launch in history, and ETF issuers hold over 1 million Bitcoin on behalf of investors. Things can move quickly in Bitcoin. Another example that this Bitcoin thing is spreading is the tide turning in the negative press and flawed research of Bitcoin's energy use being bad. Daniel Batten, who has worked tirelessly over the years to change the flawed mainstream view on Bitcoin's energy use, presented at the Bitcoin EU conference on this incredible change in narrative over the last few years.
There has been a phenomenal turnaround in the last 2 years. The academic literature is now, well, 3 qualities that have changed. Number 1, we're getting full papers, not commentaries. Number 2, they're anchored in a good understanding of how the blockchain actually operates. And number 3, they're using full contemporary data sets, not anecdotal data sets. As a result of this, we're now for the first time getting pure signal in triplicate where the mining industry, the people in adjacent industries to Bitcoin mining, and the academics are all saying the same thing. And that's this, that Bitcoin can solve fundamental problems, fundamental large environmental challenges of our time. It can help to decarbonize our grids, stabilize our grids, and mitigate our most dangerous greenhouse gas, methane. Now, the press has also started to come to the party. As we can see, the amount of negative coverage has started to taper off over the last 2 years. And in parallel, in the last 2 years, we've actually flipped to net positive reporting on Bitcoin and energy. The transition happened, if we zoom in a little, around March of last year. And here's an example. Financial Times, who used to be one of the chief architects of misinformation on Bitcoin, now is starting to cautiously change their tune, which is why I say we're about here in the cycle. We've done incredible work, but there's more work to do.
I remember when I first got into Bitcoin, I thought the biggest threat to its growth was this energy use FUD and misinformation. Fast forward over 4 years, and I no longer think it even gets into the top 10 threats to Bitcoin's growth. And network hash rate is the best example of this. Hash rate is the computational energy that the Bitcoin network uses globally. The higher the network hash rate, the more secure the network is from attack. Hash rate has continued its consistent climb higher, going nearly 6x from where it was just 3 years ago. This shows that the market either does not believe or doesn't care about the idea that Bitcoin's energy use is bad. So yes, the tide is turning and this Bitcoin phenomenon really is catching on. It might make sense to get some in case it continues catching on. And you can do that through Swan. Go to swan.com or download the app by searching Swan Bitcoin in your app store. We have put tons of time into making this the easiest and fastest onboarding experience in the industry. You can literally go from sign up to buying and sending real Bitcoin to your own wallet within minutes. Plus your first $10,000 in Bitcoin purchases will have zero fees. So visit swan.com to get started with your Bitcoin journey today. Now, one final example of this Bitcoin thing catching on is, of course, presidential candidates supporting Bitcoin. Well, after going publicly pro-Bitcoin and crypto, Donald Trump's team finally, and by finally I mean painfully, launched their new shitcoin token, World Liberty Financial.
A rough start for former President Donald Trump's new crypto project. Mackenzie Sigalos joins us now with more. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Joe. World Liberty Financial, which aspires to be a sort of crypto bank, launched its token sale on Tuesday, but the project's website suffered regular and lengthy outages for much of the day, contributing to a limited number of sales. The team had said that well over 100,000 people were on the whitelist to invest, but blockchain data shows less than 9% of the total number of people who registered actually hold the WLFI token. In a roadmap given to prospective investors, the project's co-founders said that they were looking to raise $300 million at a $1.5 billion valuation in this initial sale. So far, it's sold around 770 million tokens at 1.5 cents per coin. That is less than 4% of the 20 billion tokens made available for public sale and amounts to $11.4 million. So there's still a ways to go to make it to that $300 million fundraising goal. I did reach out to the World Liberty team for comment on the launch and haven't heard back yet. Now, the actual crypto bank that is connected to this token is not live yet. It only just begun the process of getting approved about a week ago. And until that platform gets voted on and cleared for launch, all that money being raised right now will just sit in the project's treasury.
I don't know. I don't know what the prospects for another coin are at this point.
Love it. Honorary Bitcoin maxi Joe Kernan is dead on there. Do we really need another useless coin? As I covered in a previous video last month, this project has been misguided and sketchy from the very start. I agree with Corey Bates, who said this in a post on X. Just remember, Bitcoin maximalists are batting 1,000. We sounded the alarm on Luna, Celsius, BlockFi, FTX, and now we're sounding the alarm on World Liberty Financial. It's shitcoin tokenomics, just like the tens of thousands of air tokens before it. 20% pre-mine for employees, 63% coin pre-sale to insiders, 17% user rewards. Americans are going to get wrecked. This is not revolutionary decentralized finance. This is grifting. You've been warned. And Trump supporters, before you light me up in the comments, remember this is not an indictment on anything to do with Trump or his policies. It's an indictment on the terrible track record for the scams rampant in the crypto industry that see Bitcoin as an opportunity to make money by riding off its coattails with false promises. We all go through a learning curve, and perhaps Trump and his team are going through their shitcoin learning phase. One can hope, but I'm just calling World Liberty Financial out for what it is, and it's gross. Cut out the crypto grift noise and focus on Bitcoin, and you'll thank me later. That's it for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like this video, give it a share, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more Bitcoin Signal. Thanks for watching, and remember, Bitcoin, not crypto.